Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2 of the finals at the EU tournament this week, obviously hosted by Hi Rez. The teams are Bipolar Method and Exposed Secrets, and if you haven't watched Game 1, you should watch Game 1. It was a really good match. Now, let's just have a little rundown of what we've got and who's playing what. So we see MVP Badger is playing Sobek again. We see Harok is looks like he's going for Loki. I think he's going to go jungle Loki, even though he's got a death toll. We see Spoo is going gold Vulcan. Jesus, that thing looks weird. And then we see Young Bay on Apollo. Now we see Lobster again on the Agni. Okay, so for Exposed Secrets, we see Mordor on Barkus again. Zimp is going Ra this time instead of Odin. We see Bobby Koff is 4 again. Funball has gone Freya, and then Shadow Nightmare is Poseidon. Oh, look at that. Legendary skin as well. So level 10, obviously, on the Poseidon as well. The black and gold looks really nice. Lobster there needed to be a little bit careful, but do you know what? I actually really like the black and gold. Now, I knew it looked kind of good anyway, but whoa, that looks good. And now, after that little bit of crappy envy that I had there, let's get back into the game. So we see two people actually rushing Doomor, which is kind of surprising to see it on the Vulcan. Vulcan, obviously, yeah, I could see it working quite well. Obviously, he's got some good lane clear, obviously, if it's on solo lane. We see Mordor going for a Betty flop onto Badger. Badger, bad engagement, man. Get out there. Charges into a 5-man team on his own. It's going to go down. First blood straight away to Expose Secrets. His team wasn't even there. They were in the left jungle and Lobster was in the right. And he went in. God, it's like the first game. So both teams, first blood goes to Exposed Secrets, but both teams managed to pick up the gold, each side gold camp, even though Exposed Secrets are coming around. Looks like they're going to go for Lobster as well. Lobster's got nowhere to go. Berserker's Barrage goes out there and Freya manages to pick up the kill. So they lost 2 straight away. Because for, I'd say, potentially bad engagement from the first kill. That's pretty much where I'm going with that one. But we see Rush Doomobs out on Ra and Vulcan. We see Harok's mid at the minute. Well, he might as well mid until Lobster gets back. Because some good XP to have. And then if he's going to go jungling, which looks like he's going to go do now, he's going to benefit wise. Now, just to kind of let you guys know with like the jungling a little bit, you don't need Boomba's Master Jungle anymore. They've made it so it doesn't actually increase anything, pretty much. You get a bit of health back, but what it is if you share with somebody, you get full gold. It doesn't affect the XP, so if you share with somebody, you still lose out on the XP. So it's just a gold thing. We can see it here on Hercules here. So in the jungle, you get 15 mana per 5, and you're also healed when you kill jungle camps. If an ally's nearby, you get normal gold as if you were solo. That's it. Okay, so there's some can benefit from that, but if Harok actually is he going to pick up the blue? No, he gives the blue obviously to the right because he wants the damage, and obviously with Death Toll can do quite well and then just kind of hammer it home. And we see a bit of engagement going on the left hand side here. Badger obviously going after Freya. Badger gets a good hit off onto Freya. Freya's down really low. Maybe it's so beautiful we finish off. The moves comes out, 2 more attacks, bang, and then the Funball goes down. So Funball not doing too well this game. We see a Mesmerize coming to there onto Mordor. Betty flops out of the way but still inside, and the So Beautiful by Young Bay manages to pick up a double kill. So now we're evened in kills. But the best bit about that is both kills have gone off onto Apollo, where Exposed Secrets actually shared their kills between 2 people. That was definitely outplayed, and it kind of showed that Funball had a really good game last game, and this one actually got kind of turned around on him. I'm guessing On Her was banned out. That's possibly where they were going with that one. Obviously, going off replays, we don't actually get to see the picks and the bans, which is a little shame. I thought they was going to put that in, but they didn't in the end. We do see, where's Loki? Loki's over by the movement speed buff there. It's always good to kind of crack on. So he's moving really well, and the death toll's not bad. Gives you attack speed up, gives you a little bit of health. Gives you 60 more health than Boomba's Mask, obviously 90 instead of 60, especially at the start, because at the start you've only got like 500 health. So it's definitely a nice increase as well. Also, the auto attacks help out, especially every 5 hits, especially with like the attack speed of Loki works out really well, especially with the hit combo. It's like hit 3 fast hits, then a long hit. But if you do a hit, 3 fast hits, then an ability, it resets it, so then you can do that away. It kind of gets your speed up that way. It works out really well. So we see Ra has already finished Doom Mob, so he's already going to start stacking, but Ra is in a side lane, so could potentially lose out on some last hit stacks, but he's not mid. But then again, Poseidon, let's see what Poseidon actually gets. Poseidon's still just going for boots at the minute, so he's not going to go for that one too much. And we'll see what's going on. Vulcan, I'd like to see how much Vulcan's going to do though with this Doom Mob. Obviously, once he starts getting some penetration up, that's going to definitely work really well with him. And then we see obviously Mordor and Barkus coming in over as well. We got Bobby coming over, but doesn't actually decide to go for Lobster. Obviously from the wrong side. I think Bobby's a little bit. No, he's still level 6, so he's all right. Harok's a little bit behind on levels compared to everybody else. But then again, he's back, so he's not got any jungle camps to kind of kill. So the problem he's got now is he needs to kind of like lane a little bit. Unfortunately, there's nothing to kill. So what's he going to do? Gank. Oh, he's got a good time to go in there. Ults onto Shadow. Good Kraken coming out there. Going to protect him a little bit. Rain of Fire just misses. Went slightly to the left. And if he went to the right, it would have done. Berserker's Barrage comes out there. So unfortunately, Harok got a perfect gank off onto Poseidon, but Lobster wasn't in there enough to actually finish it up. Poor guy. Poor guy. Now we see the left lane. Just left lane's kind of holding there, kind of subtly, really nicely and doing well. We see Apollo obviously on the left hand for Bipolar Methods, the one that's holding out the best compared to everybody else. So it's back. So, Apollo going, Heartseeker now. Good boy, good boy. Obviously, like I always say, the range guys with the Heartseekers, it's nice. It's nice. Definitely nice to actually have. Freya there at half health, obviously taking some unnecessary damage from the creeps there just to keep them out from tower range. Sometimes you just have to kind of bite the bullet with that and get on with it. Picking up the mana and cooldown reduction buff there. Anything going on mid? No, Harok over there just trying to pick some gold camps up there. Let's just see the jungler-wise. So jungler-wise, Harok's behind, but Harok hasn't got a kill. But Harok is behind 1,000 gold. Now, 1,000 gold is a lot. So I was just wondering if I actually lost sound there, and then I heard Harok go off there. But yeah, 1,000 gold is a lot, especially this early on. You're 6 minutes in, and he's already a goal ahead. So we see Berserker's Barrage, obviously after a dive in there from Bobby. Bobby's almost managed to get Harok down, and we see Poseidon coming in there, but Lobster manages to pick him up. Obviously, Kraken going out there onto Lobster. Luckily enough, Lobster had full health in that engagement, so the Kraken wasn't actually managed to finish it off, but Harok managed to get away. Did he get the assist for that? He did actually get the assist, so that's definitely good for him, and it also reduces some farm time there for Bobby, which Bobbycoff there, which is definitely extremely needed, even though Harok actually had the back. Okay, so Harok backed. Fair enough, like the farm times have equaled out, but it's still even on the junglers. Fair enough. Then it's like Bobby's still ahead, unfortunately, even though he died. But Harok wasn't able to capitalize on the fact that Bobby wasn't actually in the jungle, so he actually didn't get any benefit out of that apart from assist. Unfortunately, not too much, not too much. We do see a Creeping Curse and a Hog on Badger again. Obviously, those Creeping Curses are really good, especially when you've got like a low mobility like God, or when anybody like Freya or Barkus, or even after you've used your gap closers or leaps or something like that, you get Creeping Cursed, and it's like, oh dear God, I'm going nowhere. See, Vulcan's finished up his Doom Mob now. So we see the tanks kind of have a little tussle in the jungle. Just kind of see what's going on. And I just kind of saw it a little bit on the minimap. But here we go. We see a little bit of action. Missed out on the right-hand lane. See, oh, +4. Don't want to go out that far. So we see Harok having a look. Went after Poseidon. Possibly didn't see Bobby there too much. But Lobster managed to pick up. They managed to pick up Poseidon there too much, but Harok just needs to get out of the way. 4's going up, Bobby's going up. Now needs to go. Oh, just didn't juke it enough. But Flame Wave coming out there from Lobster. Now Bobby's in a lot of trouble. Berserker's Barrage comes out there. Lobster's actually, they've turned it around on Lobster, and then Youngbay comes in there with his ultimate, manages to pick up Bobby as well. Mordor as well there. he could possibly go for this, even though he's attacking. We've got Badger coming round. Kind of wasted the ultimate there. Wasn't in range at all before anything actually happened. And then dropped Creeping Curse when no one else is around. I feel that... I don't mean to harp on Badger too much, but Badger seems to be the weak link at the minute in the teams. He kind of is either out of position or he's ahead of his team where his teammates aren't there. So you could see he come in, use the ultimate when no one was around and everybody was already leaving. So it actually didn't even have a slow effect. Was it nowhere in range to actually work? And then you saw very early on, straight away, as soon as he passed like Apollo was backing out and just leaving. Young Bay was leaving, and he's carried on going, charged in, then Creeping Curse. Kind of wasted the Creeping Curse. Could have used that elsewhere. I feel possibly like communication, but I don't quite know what's wrong there. I kind of feel that Badger's just it's a bit of a problem. That's all I can say. So we see Harrock coming around onto Zimp, goes straight after there with aim strike onto Zimp. Now uses the ultimate out. Going to get caught out by a Tectonic Rift and then Melnir's hammer. Lobster managing to pick up that other kill. Harrock seems to start the fights and Lobster finishes them. That's pretty much how that started in a minute. So Harrock's getting like 3 assists and Lobster's got 3 kills. That's pretty much how that's working in a minute. We see Apollo getting bounced on there. Tectonic Rift. Freya's using the 2, using the moves to get out of the way. Bobby teleports in, gets stunned there by Lobster beautifully. Young Bay should have left though. Uses so beautiful. Now Badger's around. 4 uses the thing up there. Flame Wave and Tail Whip managed to finish that off. And then Fumble comes in there with the Freya's ultimate. Also manages to... throw Freya back into tower range, uses his ultimate to stay underneath. She's got nowhere to go. Flame Wave goes on top, and, well, Rain of Fire, Stun, Flame Wave picks up Freya, Fumble as well. So that was definitely a good engagement fight by Bipolar Method. Unfortunately, well, no, that Harrock got picked off, so it was a 2-for-2 trade, to be honest. 2-for-2... Well, Harrock got picked off, then the next engagement they managed to pick off 2 kills. So it kind of, yeah, still 2-for-2 trade. It kind of works out there. So you see Lobster, though, doing a lot of damage. Has he not picked up Aegis? Lobster, where is he? For some reason, I can't find him. No, there he is. So he's just gone down cooldown reduction. So he's got no penetration. Kraken coming off onto Lobster. He needs to dash out the way now. So does actually manage to get the dash. The Tidal Surge didn't actually manage to take him down too far. So he manages to get away with that one just enough. He is... still behind. Well, he's ahead of Poseidon by actually 1,000 gold. So basically, they've kind of switched what's ahead. So for Exposed Secrets, the jungle is ahead, and for Bipolar Method, the mid lane is ahead. So they've got like swings and roundabouts, as like we call it in the UK. It's like one's doing better than the other. It's all good to see, all good to see. We see Poseidon now starting to go for the Doom Orb. So he's finished off his boots, then going Doom Orb. So instead of rushing their Doom Orb out, he's actually just going that way. I'd like... Ra's already got his Doom Orb, so he's already getting the stacks. It's going to be beneficial. Maybe if Shadow Nightmare managed to actually did the Doom Orb really early, would have had enough damage to actually get a couple of kills. Probably would have actually killed Lobster if he'd ever gone the other way. Maybe. We see Mordor getting caught out a little bit. Well, Badger kind of got caught out, but Lobster's come in doing loads of damage to there. Freya picks it off Badger. Badger just taking a lot of damage. Then good banish off the Lobster. Lobster will go down and then does go down. Did drop Noxious Gas, but not too much. But I feel that Badger was out of position again. From what I saw, Badger was kind of up front and then Lobster was there. Even though... It's very... I don't mean to harp, but he kind of like... I think he's costing positions. He's throwing a few positions that Lobster and the other team are actually making up for in the team fights. I think he's going in too much. Or... I would say it was willy-nilly. I don't know how everyone's like... Going in there not... giving too much thought was how we kind of say it, but willy-nilly is like the UK term for it. Well, some people say that anyway. So I think he needs to play a little bit safer, probably a bit more communication. Anything else could be something going on. But we saw Barkus go in on top of his head quite a lot. We see Vulcan on the right hand side with Ra, so they're just kind of like solo loading it up. Vulcan, Ra can't out push Vulcan. Vulcan can't outpush Ra. So it's pretty much a stalemate, especially when they're too ranged as well. We see some action coming in on the right-hand side lane. We see Berserk's Barrage goes out there, but Poseidon's the focus one by Harok. Harok actually gets down by 4 Berserk's Barrage and Melner's Hammer. We see Vulcan in with an Intoxication coming out there as well. Possibly Overdrive's now going to go. Poseidon will go down in this, like that last hit. No, we got the Aegis, but he will go down. We see 4 coming down. How does Poseidon still alive? There we go. Finally go down. Everybody else actually getting out. Badger is in a sticky situation. Uses a Creeping Curse and then uses his ultimate to try and get out of the way. Possibly if he... there's not really much where he could go. He could have gone round. Now he's stuck. Now there's 4 people on him. He's going to go. He could have probably done with going into lane. Now he's going into the tower. Jumps under the tower. Could possibly get away with this one. Celestial Beam. Oh, jukes it beautifully. And now manages to get away. We see Apollo come round. We see 4 getting caught out of the Berserk's Barrage there. Actually, with the passive kit stacked up by Lobster, manages to pick him off with the dot damage. Which, whoa. It's like I said, with Apollo, if you can keep that stack up, great. Fantastically played. Just to kind of keep it up between the fights, especially with just keep them auto attacks going between your abilities. Just to keep that... like the passive up, so when you do it you get that extra bit of damage, and it all adds up in the end, and we see it there just getting that final kill. So we see Focus Voidstone coming out there for Agni, so he gets that extra penetration there early going on. So he's gone for a cooldown on the boots, but next item's like a proper focus penetration item, like as much as you're going to get. So mid tower's like potentially going down. We see the right hand tower almost died during that, I think because Ra never actually joined the fight. Ra kind of stayed where he was and kept pushing the lane, and Spoo nearly lost the tower. We see Harok rotating over, so Ra could be in a little bit of a situation here. He's coming round, stealths in. You would have heard him coming. Goes down, ults, and then boom. Actually, just goes. He didn't even need to sit. Well, Spoo's ultimate was already down, so he couldn't see anything like that. But Ra just was going nowhere. And Loki just, obviously, he's got so much burst damage. Push that down so hard. We see Shadow Nightmare rotating left. There's nowhere else really to go, because obviously Freya there looked back with so little health. And then Shadow Nightmare decides to back there. Kind of funny way to do that. Good block off though, obviously. You're not going to walk for a Whirlpool. No one's going to do that. It's just not done. Well, very rarely anyway. Harrock was picking the gold camp up. We see... Doomor's finished off there on the Poseidon, so now we can finally get some stacks, and then obviously that Kraken, obviously once he gets full stacks, it's really going to start hurting. That's going to be like a trap. Well, it's going to be like a Kraken, isn't it? Everyone knows when that Kraken goes off, it's like, ooh, it's going to sting. It's going to sting. We see Lobster going more, still tanky. He likes getting that cooldown reduction off. So 2 cooldown reductions, I think. They both stack to the cap. So there's 15, I believe. Best rate of valor is like 25. So the cooldown reduction max is 35. So it stacks up perfectly. So he gets full cooldown reduction that the game will allow. So he caps out on that. And especially seeing as if you can get them ultimates out, the Rain of Fire drops them down enough. I think it's like, what is it, every 20 seconds he gets a meteor. So it probably drops it down to like every 15 seconds. And in a team fight, that's you probably get an extra maybe 2 meteors, maybe 1-2 meteors that you wouldn't have had before, helping over the wall there. But Bobby actually having a little look. Them still Vulcan turrets over this side. Now actually decides to leave because he's stealing it for the right hand lane to keep them tower pushed. Can't do much again. The problem, like, Spoo's going to go. This tower's going down now. Unfortunately, this tower will go. Harrock's rotating over though. No, decides not to come actually. Yeah. Lobster just messing around. Kind of a bit of a low again now. Oh, Harrock coming mid. Decides not to do it. No, just come round from too far behind. Maybe if he'd have come round like the side engagement, like this engagement over here, could have probably got the stun off. Wouldn't have seen it coming. See Mordor rotating over. We've got Freya on the left hand side there onto Youngbay. Youngbay managed to get out of that one. Badger manages just to kind of mess around with Freya. Needs to back off though because Youngway's backed. You don't know where exposed secrets are. Needs to be a little bit wary because if they rotate over, they can obviously put him out with respect. Well, with respect. So we got Gem of Isolation. First time I kind of seen it for a while. Well, especially in the didn't see any in the North American finals. First time we seen it now. But then again, we've only seen one Poseidon in the finals, so far. We see. It's also as well, if you look at the difference between the NA scene and the EU scene, the NA scene supports solo lane supports. Like one support would always get Watcher's Gift and Midas Boots. That was pretty standard, but then again, that was Team Dignitas and Cognitive Gaming were both doing that, and that kind of worked. Now, you don't see either of the EU teams doing that, so it's definitely good to see like good difference. Apollo gets banished up in the air, gets jumped on just as he uses the move, so that should have broken that one. Mesmerize comes out, no, he actually got it. Bobby's going up in the air, gonna go for it. Is he gonna juke? No, he's gonna get stuck. Uses the Aegis, comes down and gets smashed. Also, obviously, Intoxication comes out as well. Harrock is round. Poseidon is in. Badger going really round the houses to get this one. Gets hit by the Tectonic Rift, but not enough to actually block him off. Whirlpool, Kraken, Berserker's Barrage. Badger's down and out. Anybody want a new handbag? New handbag? Boots, potentially? We get some old cowboy boots there with like crocodile skin. Look really good. Purse. Anything like that we could have. Yeah. I could get a new croc skin belt. Something like that. I don't have one, but it'd be kind of funny. I'd love to have them like cowboy boots that were, yeah, well, they wouldn't look right on me though, personally. That's just not how it's going to go. So we see Apollo did die with the Heartseeker. He has finished his Executioner, but his stacks have been reduced. Not been reset, reduced. Spoo getting caught out. Now, Exposed Secrets are really moving as a team and catching everybody out there. Obviously, they're going down to the gold camp, but Bipolar Method are spreading out quite a bit. And it's kind of letting them get picked off one by one, especially when they're not even retreating in the same direction. They're all splitting off and going in like multiple directions, so they're getting picked off. Now, 4 managed to just get out of the way there, though. I thought he was going to go down. There's Harrock goes in there, going off, manages to pick up 4, obviously with the ultimate and aim strike as well. The Poseidon managing to pick off Harrock, though. Unfortunately for him. Obviously, if you're going to jump into 4 men, you're going to, or 4 gods, you're not going to do too well unless you get out very quickly. It's like he kind of wanted to stealth in, aim strike, use a few abilities, and then ultimate out, but that's hindsight's 2020. Then again, they could have got away with that. So you're not kind of exactly sure where everybody's going. Middle tower's getting pressured by Exposed Secrets. They decide not to do the full pressure, though, obviously. They decide to go for the gold camp. Might as well get that gold camp there. They're not going to gain too much. That middle tower will go down eventually. There's nothing too much to worry about, seeing as they still got their middle one. It's all good. It's all good. So we see Gem of Isolation finished up onto Poseidon. Old Shadow Nightmare is now going to be definitely a pain, especially with all them slows. We've got Fumballs going for Fatalis, then Demonic Grip. So a lot of attack speed coming out there, especially getting them Irradiates and Pulses out. Especially the slow pulse is just, yeah, one of them ones. Definitely a bit of a pain. Definitely a bit of a pain. We see lots of penetration with the focused Voidstone there onto Vulcan. Like I say, with the Doom Orb, you had a bit of penetration in there. Works really well. Definitely a better one to go for over than the Spear of Magnus. Definitely first anyway, because he's up against Ra a lot of the time, so he's not too much away. Especially when he's up against Ra, you've got, well, you only have 1 physical on the opposing team, and that's 4. So the magical protection, definitely a needed one, I'd say, for everybody. Everybody needs some sort of magical protection. We do see Harrock, though. He's going to go for the focused Void Blade. We do see a gank coming out. Over on the left, though, we see Bobby coming round. Managed to get the Tectonic Rift out. Apollo just using his ultimate to get out of there. Badger's just in a lot of trouble. Using his ultimate to get out of the way. We could see a counter engagement. It does. Youngbay does go in. Then Bobby goes straight up. Where's Bobby going? He's going for Apollo. Goes straight down. Gets Apollo. Does a Tectonic Rift. Freya comes in from behind. Does a load of damage. Mesmerize comes out there onto Bobby. Managed to get out of the way. Fumble uses his ultimate to get up in the air. Moves backwards. Mordor Betty flops in on top. Poseidon comes in now. Shadow Nightmare drops a Whirlpool, misses a Shadow Surge. Berserker's Barrage comes in there, and Poseidon does manage to pick up Badger. Puff Path of Flame, Lobster managed to get out of the way. Spoo still going in there for it. Really wants to go. Gets hit by a Kraken, gets pushed up, gets hit by a Tectonic Rift. Then Malnir's Hammer, and then Berserker's Barrage. Lobster did manage to miss fumble there with that Rain of Fire, but then Youngbei jumps in there with a So Beautiful and picks up that kill. So that was a 1-for-2 trade. Not all the best. Not all the best. So now we see Exposed Secrets about 7k ahead. We're just under 7k, 6.5k ahead at the minute. Free kills. Kills isn't so much. If you could get a lot of kills, but if you don't push objectives and get gold, you could still fall behind. So you see, obviously in the high level competitive play, everybody is trying to farm so hard. The poor guys that always get caught out are always the supports. They're always the ones that struggle quite a bit. There's the duo lane support struggles the most. So the middle tower does go down for Bipolar Method. So they are behind in towers by 2 towers, in fact, actually. So it's not doing them any favours. They can't even push the solo lane tower, and they can't push the mid lane tower. We see Apollo going for Deathbringer next, which is kind of a standard now. He's not going to go for, obviously, Funballs, Heartseeker, Devourer's Gloves, because it's a very slow start. But we see Ra getting caught out quite a bit. Obviously, Lobster's come in and managed to help pick up that kill after Harrock just get the gank off. So Ra's not doing too well for himself. I think he's got caught out 3 times by Harrock now. Well, that's pretty much who's starting the engagements. Get in there, getting the stuns off. Pretty much takes out half his health. And then it's okay, even though. So he's that rush do more, but it's not doing him any favours whatsoever. I believe he's probably down. He's probably down to about 15 stacks now, I believe. From how many times he's died. And the frequency of kind of how he's died. We see Bipolar Method really want to push this middle tower down, though. They're definitely going for it. We see the left-hand side and the right side. We see Harrock pushing the right. We see Apollo pushing, Youngbei pushing the left. Barkus can't stop it. It does throw an intoxication, but nothing much he can do. Freya Fumble has pushed right-hand side. Harrock does go down, so they do lose a kill for that tower. But they've got the towers now. They've now evened up the towers. The gold is now closed up to 5k instead of a 6k. Now they're going to go for the Gold Fury as well. Gold Fury is pretty quite high, though. We see level 3 Hog on Exposed Secrets and only level 2 on Bipolar Method. So Exposed Secrets have the engagement, really. We see Badger Ultimate coming out just to slow everyone. He gets hit by the Kraken as he comes up. Didn't really see much damage coming out there. I don't know quite what happened there, if anything. Gold Fury gets reset. Bobby goes up, comes down, manages to get a few, gets a stun out, but Badger does go down to the Freya ultimate, as well as Lobster and Spoo as well. Ooh, a few auto attacks there from the Vulcan Cannon, not actually managing to secure the kill on Bobby. Bobby Cough. Apollo coming in as well. Mesmerize should be coming out anytime soon. So Beautiful comes out. A few auto attacks. And the Ra Searing Light as well. Now, the moves come out from Youngbei. Just gets picked off by that Celestial Beam to the back. Not doing him too many favours. It's 2 versus 5 now. And then Exposed Secrets picks up that Gold Fury after just not even engaging it. So Lobster goes down to Barkus as well. Gets landed on the head. Unfortunately, not doing too well. So Exposed Secrets again kind of pulling away in this game. Let's see if they actually pull this one. Bipolar Method, I'm not going to count them out, because to be honest, I counted them out last game, and they showed me up. They really did show me up. They were pulling it back. If they had had a few more kind of good engagements, they'd have been alright. So we see Exposed Secrets prioritizing that Fire Giant again. They're really going for it. Now Ra, I wouldn't have done that, to be honest, because now well, I suppose it didn't really matter. It's kind of one of the ones. Do you give away your position to the fact you're actually doing the Fire Giant because you don't know where they're at, or what do you do? It's pretty much kind of how I was looking. It's like, what do you do? So more of this legendary skin, Poseidon. It just looks kind of good. I like the cloak. That's the best bit. The cloak at the bottom is like, ooh, it looks good. Let's just have a little bit more. There we go. Now, you've probably got the overlay over the middle when I put it up over the processing, but you can still get the general gist of it, and it looks lovely, doesn't it? So now, Bipolar method just really need to farm. I'd say possibly split push as well. Get the Apollo. Use the Apollo to your advantage. Use his ultimate to split push the crap out of everything. Like, always keep one person out of the team fights, because you're going to lose towers now. You're going to lose. They're going to lose both left lane towers now. There's nothing they can do, and the problem is they're staying in the jungle, not doing too much. They're staying in this jungle here. Now Apollo could push mid, get that middle tower, then push right, and just keep some wards out, just so if anybody comes, go for it. Because there's nothing they can really do to kind of stop this. There's not much. I can't. Now, don't get me wrong. I could be wrong. I am not a competitive player, but it's a lot better than doing nothing and losing all your towers, isn't it? Really, you could be out pushing other towers, making them pull back, reducing their numbers, even though your numbers good. Wave of rain of fire there coming out there. Kraken coming out, 4 coming down, Harrock goes out, Badger goes down, Freya Fumble does manage to go down in the end, and then we see obviously Bobby as well. So that was a good 2-for-2 trade actually picked up there. So they do still manage to pick the fights out. Lobster always seems to be the one doing, obviously he's Agni doing the most damage, with that cooldown reduction being so beneficial. And then we got Apollo picking up the extra auto attacks. But I'd like to see... Oh, Poseidon going to get caught out. Flame Wave, Path of Flame as well. So they're managing to pick up the kills. Now, Zimp is in a lot of trouble. He's the last man here. They can push this middle tower. They got Vulcan. They got no creeps, unfortunately. So there's not much they can kind of do. That turret's going to go down. We see a teleport coming in there from Mordor to get back into lane quicker, just to protect that. Yeah. Really well done, actually, from Bipolar method. Now we see Rodder to Hoot is coming out for Exposed Secrets. So when they finish them up, their damage is going to kind of like skyrocket a bit and definitely be problematic. We don't see Agni going for that just yet. Agni's still behind on... Finished his Obsidian Shard, so he's gone full cooldown, full penetration. And it seems to be working. Obviously the base damage is working really well, but definitely... Like the damage is coming out from Lobsters quite. You definitely see when the Rain of Fire hits that it's definitely, yeah. The meteors hit and take out quite a bit of damage. It's quite nice. I'd like to see obviously a higher more magical power as well. Be better. Oh, he's got the penetration, and so it's all good. But like we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. Middle tower. I think they should have pushed this middle tower a bit. Come on, guys. We got some games to win. I want to go to game 3. At least if we go to game 3, we've actually had a good series. We can't have 2 2-0s. We can't have a 2-0 on NA and a 2-0 on EU. Let's actually go, boys. We know it's going to go. So, Ra probably still got his full stacks. Harrock, his stacks aren't doing the best. He keeps getting caught out. Obviously, he's died 6 times, so them Heartseeker stacks are always pretty low. Definitely below 20, maybe 25, if anything. We see Exposed Secrets going after that. Gold Fury again. They do... teams. You always see one team prioritise the Gold Fury more than the other. You don't generally see both teams prioritise it. You kind of just see one team react. A bad banish there from Fumble, but manages to use the beads to protect it from the stun. Badger going in there, using his armor to slow it down. We see Freya ult at the top. Kraken goes out onto Harrock after he ulted onto Freya. We see Apollo go in on Freya. We see Freya go down. And now we see... So it's 1 for 1 so far. We see 4 come down onto Youngbei. Youngbei uses Memorize to stop Berserker's Barrage. Mordor's in a lot of... was low, but seems to be getting his health back now. What's he got to actually get his health back? Mordor. Nothing, really. Oh, he's got Salvation. So that's what's generating some of his health back. Working pretty well. Just a little bit. It's not a lot. And then we see Exposed Secrets going back for the Gold Fury. So it's 4 on 4 again. So it's definitely an even one. They do have the Hand of God's lead still. We need to get Badger to actually finish that. Otherwise, he's just... Definitely when it comes to the Fire Giants, they're behind. There's not much they can do. So we're seeing people back. Decide not to get that. Now, Possibly 4, Poseidon and Ra could go for Gold Fury on its own now and not worry too much. Mid lane getting pushed. If they could kill the gold camp. No, actually, there we go. Ra's going to finish that, even though we don't see the Celestial Beam. Graphics glitches, eh? Always fun. We do see, actually, Polynomicon coming out onto Freya, which is definitely a good item to have on there. Where obviously increases your damage of abilities, your next auto attack after using the ability, and only happens once every 2 seconds. Well, generally, it's Freya auto attack. Most of her damage is auto attacking, so it's going to work really well, especially everything, nonetheless. Harrock as well, just getting off on the movement speed buff. We see Mordor going in for it, and Badger as well in the middle of a 5-man team getting caught out. Uses Kraken and Berserker's Barrage intoxicates, but did bait out 2 ultimates there. But he's again getting caught out. Like all the team is like disengaged, and he's getting caught out. So he's not. I'd love to hear the communication. Harrock getting banished up in the air. Also, Whirlpool gets jumped up on the top. Freya's ultimate coming out there. We see Poseidon taking a lot of damage. Harrock and Badger both have gone down now. And then Apollo comes in there and picks up Poseidon, as well as Bobby coming down. Just missing him, though, unfortunately. Now we see Gold Fury should go. Yeah, Exposed Sirius pick that up. Berserker's Barrage onto Lobster. Lobster throwing out that Flame Wave, doing a lot of damage to everybody there. We see Freya over there with Apollo. We see Tectonic Rift coming out and Berserker's Barrage onto Lobster. Unfortunately, Tectonic Rift stopped Lobster on the wrong side of it, so the Berserker's Barrage couldn't actually finish them off. I have a feeling this is going to be a long game. Definitely a long game. 26-26. We see 11k. No, actually a 12k gold. No, it's 11.5k gold lead for Exposed Secrets again. Like I say, they're about a 7th. See that 60,000 gold, 71,000 gold. Definitely a longer match. We do see Ra come up. We got Fist of the Gods, so he's coming out of a stun. I think that's definitely a good move from Ra. It gives him something extra to do. He's got slow, stun. Generally, half the time people are on top of him, so it's definitely going to help out in those respects. Potentially, now the Gold Fury's gone down. Maybe Exposed Secret's going to go Fire Giant. I'd assume so. We see Harrock as well getting a Girdle of Inner Power. As someone, I can't remember who did it in the last game or one of the other games that I've casted today. Everything's slowing down. Slow down. We see Apollo just stacking that attack speed. Everything apart from the Heartseeker is attack speed. We see Executioner, Deathbringer. Oh, I suppose Deathbringer's not attack speed. Alright, fair enough. And then we see the Rage as well. So just getting that attack speeds off. Obviously getting them high crit hits out. Obviously using that passive to the fullest. Obviously increased damage, critical strike damage 50%. But you need the critical strike chances. So you need to hit a lot more. But then again, it kind of even. You do the attack speed, it means your attack damage is lower, but you get more of them. Kind of works. We see Belly Flop going off there onto Lobster, managing to back out. But you see Exposed Secrets and now seeing they're prioritizing objectives a lot more than Bipolar Method. So we see Lobster and everything. We see the rest of the team has actually joined the fight. Tectonic Rift went out across, blocked off Lobster. Lobster managed to use Puff Flames to get out of there. We see Loki, Harrock just backing off. We see Bobby coming down onto Lobster. Tectonic Rift again. He's going to get... Didn't actually get stunned. I don't know what's going on there. Should have definitely got stunned unless the beads. He does have beads, so he probably used the beads there to stop that because he knew it was coming. No one getting taken down, but the Fire Giant's being left alone. I think he's been left alone. I just see a load of like animation. Yeah, the Fire Giant's still there. I see Bipolar Method rotating back round. Middle tower should go down during this. Oh, it's so low, but I don't think the creeps won't actually get it. The aggro is going to be pulled off. I see Fire Giant's going to get called out there. Oh, look, we see 2 people go down for Bipolar Method in one Kraken there. We see a Falcon and Agni. We see also Zimp as well, using that Fist of the Gods there to stun Harrock and Badger. Badger getting the tail whip, managed to take down, and him, Young Bay managing to take down Poseidon. Zimp going to go down to Apollo. Just one more attack is all he needs Doesn't actually get it. Oh, he's still going for it. Uses Mesmerize. Stops him in place. Now, Badger's going to go down to Freya. Apollo's also a bit of trouble. Should get out. Maybe get out of there. Does he still have his ultimate? He does have his ult, so he use it to get out. No, he's going to go down. Too much damage. So an early deicide coming out there for Exposed Secrets. No, they don't want to stand in that fire, mate. Now they're actually going to go for it. They should. They've got the DPS to get the Fire Giant. I'm surprised they're not going for it. Well, I suppose you've got two people down, especially 2 damage dealers. You want them back. So they're just going to push the middle tower. Not worry about it too much. Just keep going. There we go. So middle tower goes down in that. So there's only 1 tower left for Bipolar Method. Whilst Exposed Secrets still have 4. Are they going to go for the Phoenix as well? They've got a little bit of time. Could they get it down? We see Spoo and Lobster. The countdown is 0, but they've not respawned. Is there a bug? They're not spawning. What's going on? There we go. They finally respawned. So it looked like a bit of a delay on the timer. Especially like we see HiRez on 0 as well, but not spawning. Again, we see MVP Badger. Maybe the spectator mode times aren't synced up compared to like the actual respawn timers. And this right-hand tower is really low. Definitely look at that one meteor comes down and actually clears out all the archers. So they pretty much almost lost all their towers. The right-hand tower will get pushed so easily on the next engagement where that actually happens. Now we see Exposed Secrets rotating over towards the Fire Giant again. Now everybody's up. They just keep starting fights at the Fire Giant. That's pretty much how everything's going. We see the Rototuhuti finish both Freya and Poseidon. We don't see any of that coming out on Bipolar Method side. We do see a Bancroft talent coming out there for Agni, which actually works out really well for him. It's the way Agni kind of works. Not too kind of much exceptional wise. We see obviously Vulcan's not getting too many kills, but Vulcan doesn't really get killed. It's kind of like a weird damage from Vulcan in most respects. There, we do see that the whole of no one's really going for this. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the way that everyone's kind of jumbling together. They're not really focused. Obviously, Bipolar Method, okay, they've got all the wards covering the Fire Giant, but where are they going with it? They're not actually. It means they could go for it and like try and secure without obviously like Exposed Secrets kind of knowing they're there, but they don't. Now, obviously, Exposed Secrets are now going for the Fire Giant, and now Bipolar Method are. They're playing very reactionary. They're not being proactive and actually going for it beforehand. Now, Exposed Secrets got that Fire Giant completely uncontested, despite the coverage of the Bipolar Method wards. We see Lobster as well dropping loads of meteors on top of the enemy team as well. Not actually doing too much damage now. We see, obviously, Bobby actually managed to land down on top of Agni, but not doing Lobster there. Not doing too much, though, unfortunately. But we see now we're getting pushed through. Let's just see how we get going. Belch of the Gods coming out there, cracking as well. And Badger does go down. See the middle Phoenix getting hammered. We see Lobster as well managing to pick off there. We got Barkus goes down. Zimp in trouble. Zimp's being focused there by Harrock. Berserker's Barrage coming out there. Harrock does go down. Gets focused like anything. Young Bay coming around and also getting hit by loads by Freya. Misses a Syrian Beam. Lobster as well, got another ultimate up. And then we see Aegis coming in there from Poseidon as well. 4-man team still going. 4 on 3. Going for it. Does manage to get that middle Phoenix. Now they could go for the second one. Are they gonna tank it? Or what are they going to do? No, they're going to pull back the creep wave. To be honest, if you're going to pull back the creep wave that much, they might as well have gone to the right lane, picked up the other tower. But no, what they're going to do is they're going to go pick up the gold camp while they're at it. So they're going to extend their lead even more. So it's like 14k now. So it will be about 17k. Should be. So see that go down. Yeah, there we go. Easy kill. So 41-minute game. Seen some action going on. We see a lot of kills. 56 kills is always nice to see. I love to see it going on. Harrock's just not having a good time with it, to be honest. I always find Loki's a very hit or miss. He can either be really deadly, but the problem is he makes a lot of noise when he attacks. Obviously, you hear him stealth, you know he's coming. As soon as you hear him stealth, you're like, get ready to focus him. Because obviously he's going to go for like one of the squishy mages all the time. And you could even see there when you saw Zimp low on health and you saw Harrock come in, you knew straight away he was going for Zimp. So everyone that hears, obviously, Loki stealth, they can look at Zimp, wait for Harrock to kind of like pop out an ult, and bang, there you go. You just blow him up, and then you've got another person down. That's the problem with Loki. Loki's a very, very good assassin, very kind of like poor in team fights. And to be a good assassin, you don't want to be anywhere near a team fight. And also the fact that, like I was saying, we're not seeing any more towers going down. We see exposed secrets, keep pushing towers. Obviously, they keep prioritising the buffs and the objectives more. And it's benefiting them loads. They are definitely ahead in this game. Definitely. Here we go. Belly flop going in. Intoxication goes out on the Lobster. Lobster's just jumping all over the place. We see him just backing off. We see Loki in the jungle and Young Bay at the back. So they've got like a full surround going on here. Potentially the trap could be sprung. Where's everybody going? Young Bay just trying to stay out of the way and not get seen. Possibly been seen by Shadow Knight there. Maybe not. No, I guess not. It probably wouldn't have been seen there. Freya gets good banish on Badger. Belly flop. Unfortunately, the Rara ultimate went off a bit too early or something like that. I saw a Kraken go out, not too much there. Berserker's Barrage onto Freya. Freya goes down before she get too many hits off, so pick that one off. Apollo comes in, gets hit by a Tectonic Rift. Uses Mesmerize. There it goes, Mesmerize, and then the moves to get out. And then gets hit by Melner's Hammer. Goes down. So it's another 2-for-1 trade so far. Can they keep pushing? That is it. That is the question. Can they keep pushing? They've got the good engagement. We see a Whirlpool coming out somewhere. Not 100% sure where it actually is. Graphics glitching like anything. Don't know where it's at. Don't know where these abilities are going. We see Rain of Fire going out. See Badger's ultimate coming off. We see the Whirlpool finally there. And then the Rara ult. Now, Lobster's pushed back. Berserker's Barrage coming out there. We see Mordor should go down there. He's going to take too many tower hits and does go down. We see Badger so low, just missing that tidal surge, but it's under the Whirlpool. And then Vulcan managing with the ultimate to actually pick up Poseidon as well. So they managed to turn that one around quite well. Resetting the Fire Giant on at least 3 of the team members. Let's have a look, see if we got... So... Bobby's not got it, and no, it's probably run out by now. So we should see the Fire Giant turning up anytime soon, I believe. So a good turnaround there by Bipolar method. Really well done. Spoo there. Just clearing the camp. We'll watch it. We'll follow him. So we watch this kind of camp there. We come down and then... Oh, no, it drops. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of the old way it used to be. So now it's already dropped and someone can go pick it up. Man, remember the day when you automatically got the buffs? Vulcan was so over the top when it happened. He could be back in base and still get the buff. Is anybody going to pick it up? No? Somebody should. It's the exposed. Everybody's rotating over the Fire Giant again. We see actually... No, Lobster. It looked like he was kind of like going to initiate it, but didn't in the end. I'm just trying to... Come on. What are you doing, folks? Nobody wants to give up too much ground. Obviously, exposed secret seems to be the ones that are actually going in, doing the... Really pushing the Fire Giants. They're pretty much pushing all the objectives. I'd already see like Bipolar method come in. See it now. Exposed secrets going after the Fire Giant. Got it down third. Now half. Coming in. And it looks completely uncontested. Good banish up on Badger. Obviously, they're stopping that hog coming out. Goes down and Exposed Secrets picks that up. Freya Fumble is in so low health. Badger going along, managed to pick that up. I see Harrock from behind. Harrock does take Zimp out. Perfectly done. They managed to catch that out. Apollo going up, going after, obviously, Shadow Nightmare. Obviously, Fun Ball goes down as well. For some reason, I keep calling him so beautiful. Don't know. And then we get a few hits. We see Bobikoff going out there. Manages to fund the dome or dive or dunk Lobster there. And now teleporting out the way, but they've at least got the Fire Giant on 3 people. Well, so far, manages to actually Aegis out of the, or not Aegis, beads out of the throw. But Mordor going after Badger, actually. They could get it, but then taking a lot of damage from Youngbei. Youngbei causing out a lot of bits. We see Poseidon with the Tidal Surge and Whirlpool onto Youngbei, but Badger managed to throw up Bobby. Uses ages though to stop the thing. Now Tail Whip should come out there. We see Harrock managing to pick that up, but Bobby did go down in that as well. So we see 3 for 3 working really well. We see just like Bipolar Method of just like they're more definitely late game. Oh, look at that. Tidal Surge goes through the wall, picks up Harrock, and then yeah. Definitely really well done there by Shadow Nightmare. Obviously predicting where it needs to go. Obviously, Harrock couldn't tell where it was going, but then he couldn't turn around because the auto attacks there from Poseidon would have killed him as well. He had nowhere else to really go. Now, yeah, we could see like Bipolar Method. They're definitely late game team fighters, but yeah, but it's just the early game's a bit weak, but the late game's kind of like whoa, yeah. Definitely. Pulls out really nice. Now we see kind of pushing. We got 4-man team there. 3 people are still dead by Bipolar Method. Now we're going to move up a bit more. Keep Kraken on. Kraken comes out there, picks up Lobster. Middle Phoenix does go down. So at least one of the Phoenix has gone down. And then it gets pushed back. So now they're going for the left-hand lane. Going for the Phoenix as well. They just want to... If you can get to the position where there's 2 Phoenixes down, like I say, it's very difficult for the opposing team to leave. Badger goes out again, gets Tail Whip out on everything. And then everything goes on. Phoenix will go down. Oh, come on. They're so close to going down. A few more hits. That's it. They finally goes down. That's the problem. Harrock comes in from behind. Look at the damage he done. The fumble. Oh my god. Poseidon goes down as well. Mordor as well coming out. Harrock actually stopping that goes down as well. And then Zimp goes down. Brilliantly done. Apollo's coming in from somewhere. Okay. He's chasing after Mordor. Is he going off? No. There's Bobby there. Where's he going? Where's he going? Where's he going? Looking. It's going after Bobby. It's going with Bobby. Mesmerizes him. Holds him in place. Bobby's using that. Goes up in the air. It's going to try and dunk. Where's he going? He gets straight out of there. There was no delay from when he went up to when it comes back down. So, wow, we're getting up to the 100,000 gold mark. Okay, this is going to be starting to get a lot. We got obviously Poseidon up to 22k. See Bipolar Method starting to pull the team fights out of their asses. I don't see where it's coming from. Even though, okay, they've lost 2 Phoenixes. They managed to kill pretty much the rest of the team. So now they can push and actually try and get like at least a tower. Probably what I would have done here was like I've got 4-man up, Gold Fury. Okay, possibly. Just well, they've got enough gold to be honest. Actually, the only person that really needs gold is like Spoo, but push some objective. All right, just something. It definitely needs. We need some objectives. Come on, guys. We can't sit back too much. It's a 50-minute game. Stop being passive. Go for it. Oh well. It's like the tortoise and the hare, isn't it? So we got the hare on the other side and the tortoise this side. It's slow and steady or push hard and go. So we see exposed secrets over there on the mini-map sitting actually by the fire giant waiting for it to spawn. They're definitely the aggressors of the 2 teams. They definitely want this fire giant as soon as it comes up. They definitely want that advantage. See Bipolar Method just look like they're rotating over. They know it's coming. They should know when the fire giant's coming up, but they're not too sure. Now, where are we going? There's nothing even really to talk about like build-wise. We do see a shell coming out from Zimp. Shell of absorption. So that's really going to help in the team fight, especially when that kicks up. Funny 2 words going. That happens when 2 people place it at the same time. That's pretty much there. We see the fire minions are going to push into the Minotaur. So now we see then they shouldn't back this time. They shouldn't back. They got to contend this one. If Bipolar Method steal this, they could turn the game around because they're doing really well in the team fights. But they need to steal. If they let this go away again, it could be game ending. So Rain, loads of damage coming out there. Fumble has to back off. So Bipolar Method somehow have got so much damage output there. They're focusing on the right people. that keeps them back. Obviously, Vulcan's very strong. Obviously, he died 5 times early on. He hasn't died too much recently, and he's got a lot of stacks. We see Lobster at the side there, just ready. He could obviously drop a load in. Perfectly timed in the lava. We see Shadow getting caught out. Obviously, come down by Apollo. Shadow Nightmare's getting caught out a lot, taking loads of damage. Uses the Aegis. Going to take the Sobek ult to the face, though. Will go down. Zimp also in a lot of trouble. Berserker's Barrage coming out there. Bobby being attacked by Apollo. We see Bipolar Method got the Fire Giant, so they did get the steal off. This is what they needed to win. Well, to win, to at least turn the game around. We see Mordor actually bouncing out over the back. What is it? It's like he's the only one left. They could get the Dia side. We see Spoo going after him. Going to drop down 1 turret, 2 turret. Now he's run out of actually cooldown, so we can't do anything, to be honest. But this is the time that Bipolar Method need. They need to push the towers. Apollo, go, go, go. He's obviously pulling this up. But to be honest, you've got the Fire Giant buff. You can tank it. What are these guys doing? Push the right tower. Push the right tower. They could have pushed that tower. They could have pushed both towers. They need to push as many objectives as they can. Especially while there's no one here. They can push these so hard. Alright, maybe they can push this and get a Phoenix now. But I'd go really hard. Mordor getting caught out. Didn't get hit by the Rain of Fire. This middle Phoenix should go. Middle Phoenix, they're going for the win. They're pushing for it now. They've got a good 10 seconds before everybody's like up. 4 seconds down. So you see that one Fire Giant. Come on, guys. Come on. We're going to go to game 3, everybody. We got Poseidon's just coming up. The counter's down. And Bipolar Method take game 2. Which means we're going on to a game 3, the decider of the best of 3 to see who takes away this week's EU tournament there. Perfectly done by Bipolar Methods. Held back for so long. They really like these long games. My list does not like them for sure. But they managed to get that Fire Giant still at the end. And their team fight skill is actually working loads. So we can see here all the stats that you guys like to see. And then we'll see the damage output here. Player damage 50k by Lobster, doing so much AoE damage as well as Spoo. Matching nobody on the other, nobody's other sides can actually compete with that one. So I've been your caster Risty. You can catch me on all the networks and stuff, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter as well. It's all Risty UK. So youtube.com, twitch.tv, Twitter/Risty UK. Find me there. If you're watching me on SmiteTube, keep following SmiteTube, keep watching SmiteTube, and I'll see you guys in game 3. Let's see the decider, and let's see who wins a 59-minute match. Oh my god.